What's good, superstars? Back with another digital collecting safety video. You got Superstar Joe, you got Superstar Robin, you got Superstar Michael in the building. How's it going, Michael?
It's going good, guys. What's going on?
Oh man, I don't know. I don't want to mess with you. He seems like he's got everything pretty secure down there with those punches. One punch knockout for both of us. But guys, if you're new here, do not forget, become a superstar. Smash the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell notification so you know whenever we post cool live streams like this with great guests like Michael down there. Also, you can become a superstar VIP $2.99 a month. Hit the join button underneath the video. Gives you access to all our perks, first dibs on merch, and giveaways and all that great stuff at the end of every single month. Michael, thank you so much for coming on the channel to talk to us a little bit about wallet security and all that great stuff. We also want to kind of blend our world with your world and kind of talk about the topic of security with walled garden apps like Vivi and Cryptoys, and then the Web3 stuff where you actually have wallets and you got to learn how to protect them. So how's your day been? And I'm going to pull up your socials and stuff in the background while you talk.
Yeah, definitely. So my name is Michael K. I'm the partnership director for Wallet Guard, and my day's been great. Every single day is like a Monday for us here at the Wallet Guard Hacker House. We are constantly head down building an app and the education layer so that you guys could stay safe and you could self-custody and know the right resources. So yeah, that is my Twitter that you have up on the screen there. MichaelK.DCL is my username. MichaelK.eth is the handle, and Wallet Guard, wallet_guard, is the official Twitter page for Wallet Guard.
Yeah. So how, like, what's your background? Like, how did you get involved with Wallet Guard? Like, what's your history?
Yeah, definitely. So I was actually in cybersecurity for most of my life. I was a CEO of an IT company for about 8 years before I exit and went full-time into Web3. I was basically managing my own metaverse assets, doing different types of events, monetizing my NFTs, and really getting an understanding of what was the purpose of an NFT. Because 3 years ago, I hated NFTs. And, you know, it's like fear of the unknown. You don't really know what you're stepping into. So going down that rabbit hole was awesome. A year and a half ago, I met the guys, the co-founders of Wallet Guard, and Omen Martin, and they had their first Web3 security radio. And I happened to jump into their space, and we were just vibing. We were talking about Web2 security, Web3 security, the fact that every day we would log on to Twitter and basically see people getting scammed. And they created Wallet Guard, and it was awesome because they gave me a position as a brand ambassador for about 6 months. I am an advocate for security in the space. I think that without it, this space remains an echo chamber. So I was happy doing it for no pay. It was a great transition from my Web2 cybersecurity to Web3. And at the beginning of this year, they gave me a full-time position as partnership director. We all moved to a hacker house to continue building out this application. And it's just been an amazing, amazing ride to find 5 people that all have the same vision for creating a real product in crypto, because we're not a wallet. We're not an NFT. We're not a token. We're not selling you anything. And you don't even have to connect your wallet or sign anything in order to have a security layer for your wallet of choice. And we show people that through our open source code. We are completely open source. Our repos is right there on GitHub. We want to be transparent with people. And we also aligned with the right partners in the space like Metamask. We are one of their launch partners for the Metamask Snaps platform, which last month just came out. And we're happy to say that we have a transaction simulation snap for Metamask that, again, just makes Web3 transactions, claims, swaps, and mints human readable.
Yeah, so we saw that as we were doing some research on your company here, and it you see they did a nice tweet about you guys as well. So it kind of gives you a little bit of legitimacy for people who might not know about you. A really good tweet and great partnership. I mean, a lot of people in our space, they use MetaMask, and it's obviously one of the bigger wallets for the Web3. I mean, what do you guys think about these other projects? I mean, we cover a lot of walled garden projects right now. Some of them promise interoperability to come down the line, but a lot of them feel like the safety is by them holding the keys and not sharing with the customer and just providing username and password, because it's kind of an easy onboarding, easy use case situation. How do you feel about that type of environment versus your keys, your crypto type of thing?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of us that want decentralization, but I think elements of centralization have to exist. Now, the thing is that people have to realize what exactly they're giving their access to and who has control of those assets. So when it comes down to it, I think that self-custody isn't something for everybody. I don't think our grandparents want to manage their own private keys and seed phrases. But I do think expansion on the technology like EIP 4337, which is going to introduce ways to have multi-factor authentication as well as native multi-sig methods to basically authenticate transactions before they actually go through. The point of all of this is that it's very easy to lose your stuff in Web3, especially when you self-custody. But this is not how we onboard people. We have to create the tools like Wallet Guard that show you exactly what's going to happen before it happens. So you're not losing everything in a single click. So you don't have to learn Solidity. So you don't have to understand how to read smart contracts. So you don't have to know how to read signatures. These are things that are not practical for mass adoption. So we look at it as, let's provide a security layer and also something that makes things human readable that can integrate with whatever wallet, whatever blockchain. Interoperability is amazing. But when we're handing over these assets to a closed circuit system, which is what these companies are offering, you still really don't own anything.
Yeah, that's a big problem. You don't own anything. And then I'm just curious with Wallet Guard, like when does it kick in? Is it always active? How does it work and operate? So it sounds like it kind of does the reading for you and just kind of tells you in plain terms what you're agreeing to. So is it like before I go to a mint site, I want to mint something, it will look at the contract for me and just tell me in plain English what I'm actually agreeing to? Like, how exactly does it operate?
Yeah, great question. So there's a couple of layers of defense that come with Wallet Guard. The first thing is that we're making sure that the Web3 website that you're going to is actually what it claims to be. A lot of scam websites, they get spun up within a matter of hours, and that's where people get hit the hardest. So to be able to know that this is a recently created website is just one of the heuristics that we're warning the user about. We also are able to detect wallet drainers without you having to even enter a website, connect your wallet, and run a simulation. This is security alpha. There is a zero-touch security point. Wallet Guard's doing the background work and confirming if the website's even safe to visit and whether it's going to have a wallet drainer on it without the user having to even enter the website. And then if they still choose to enter the website, when they run a simulation, it'll tell them in plain English, hey, this is not a free mint. You are sending out all of your ETH. You are listing your NFT for 0 ETH to a private address. This is not something that you want to be doing. And we're giving them all the risk factors so the user could make the decision themselves. And this is why it's important to have those metrics, because in your wallet, you're just going to see a gas fee. You're not going to see in plain English what a signature is going to do. And that's why when people FOMO into a project or they FOMO into a brand new mint or a meme token, a shitcoin, an NFT, a claim, they're not understanding what they're clicking and they're losing all their assets. And then they're coming back and saying, oh, everything's a scam. I'm never doing that again. Let's protect people before it gets to that point. Let's show them that there's a tool that's open source that actually works, because an antivirus isn't going to do what Wallet Guard does. This is the main difference. Once people understand what Wallet Guard is and they use it themselves, it's a literal no-brainer to have as a security layer between you and your wallet. All I'm going to say is that if I'm onboarding somebody, I don't want the phone call the next day of them going, yo, I lost all my stuff. I thought it was a free mint. Just like I said before, like these are things that you are doing a disservice to people if you're not talking about security, if you're not pointing them to the right tools and the right education.
So is it something that reads your screen? Like you said, it doesn't have to connect a wallet. Like how does it work? So people understand a little bit simpler.
So for transaction simulation, it actually what it does is it injects window Ethereum, which is exactly how wallets work, except it injects it prior to your wallet handing it off, right? So we're able to tell you before you hand it off to your wallet, the chain, the asset you're sending, the asset you're receiving, what the gas is, whether the contract is verified, if it's a phishing detection risk or a wallet drainer. All those risk factors are still included in that same message when you're choosing to do something in your wallet of choice. So all we're doing is we're injecting it prior and showing you all the metrics so that you can hand it off to your wallet. So we're able to do that without having to touch your wallet, without having to connect to it, without having to have you sign a signature. It's actually, you can use Wallet Guard without even having a wallet installed, and it'll still detect that you're not going to the real OpenSea, that you're about to enter a wallet drainer or a website that was recently spun up. I mean, think about all the social engineering scams where people are in your DMs and they're saying, hey, you want to beta test this game? We've been working on this for months. Check it out. And then what happens if, how do you know if that website was actually being worked on for months? we're going to tell you, hey, this is recently created. They haven't been working on this for months. This is something that is obviously trying to phish you into installing something. So there's multiple layers of security when it comes down to it. We're not just a transaction simulator. We're not just like a link checker. We actually detect threats before they even touch your wallet.
So we have Wes in the chat, longtime superstar here. He has a question. Why not just get, let's say for mints, for example, he's saying just get burner wallets. Everyone says for ultimate safety, just make new wallets every single time you mint. Like, what's just your response to that? What other what other applications would this be useful for other than just minting? Just what are your thoughts on that?
100%. It is very important to segregate your wallets. You don't want to keep all of your assets, your NFTs that you don't plan on selling, or your coins that you don't plan on getting rid of in one single wallet, which unfortunately a lot of people do, and they just say that they're not. So definitely having a burner wallet completely separate from where you keep your main assets is super important. But even in that case, when it comes down to doing a mint, a claim, a token swap, any sort of interaction with your wallet, signing a signature, even if I have a hot wallet, I still want to actually know what's happening before it happens. I've moved ETH into that hot wallet to do something. So the last thing I want to do is yet again compromise my assets essentially.
So you also had some big partnership, obviously MetaMask. You guys got somehow, they found you and they thought you were an amazing product. They got you on board. Has any other companies, let's say, some walled garden companies that maybe want to convert themselves now to be more Web3 instead of just 2.5, have they come to you at all and try to, maybe bring you in as like a partner to, teach their user base on how to do things? Any kind of partnerships or opportunities that have come to you as a result of that?
Yeah, we actually love working with communities. We love working with nonprofit agencies. We have a couple of different initiatives. We were actually just down in Washington, D.C. One of the co-founders of Wallet Guard was there with Brian Armstrong from Coinbase doing the Stand for Crypto initiative during the SEC hearings with Gary Gensler. So different, initiatives like that. We're also working on a program with Learnville, which is a system for schools that allows students to confirm their attendance to the class by scanning an NFT tag as they come in, which simplifies attendance, but also lets them learn about blockchain because they gain points every time that they scan that they're in class. And every time that they complete a quiz, like Web2 security quiz, do you have an antivirus? What do you do with your apps on your phone? Are there a million things installed that you're not using? These are important things to think about because we're holding these devices in our day. We're holding these devices in our hands every single day, and we never really think about, are we being data mined? Are our devices actually secure? Is your login information for all of your accounts properly managed? How do you even manage your own keys and your seed phrases? So it's a program that helps children learn about their own data security, their own device security, and then eases them into what the blockchain is capable of. So we're all about those initiatives. Everybody on the team is completely doxed. We do have those great partnerships with MetaMask and also Chainalysis, which I'm sure you've heard of in the past. We are happily backed and funded by Ethereal Ventures, IOSG Ventures, and Consensus. So we're super happy that all of them believe in our vision of creating this product that actually works. And a big shout out to our 30,000 users. We actually just surpassed 30,000 installs on the extension. And we just released our security dashboard about 10 days ago, and we've already had over 30,000 scans run in the dashboard. You could actually check the dashboard out on mobile as well. It's dashboard.walletguard.app, and it gives you a health score on all of your assets in your wallet, whether it's your hot wallet, your cold wallet, and lets you know if you have any open approvals, any assets at risk, and it allows you to revoke them directly in the dashboard, along with other tools like keeping your wallet extensions up to date because your browser doesn't update them automatically for you. So the goal, again, is when you're talking about warning users about risk factors, making transactions human readable, showing them all their health metrics on their wallet so they're notified if something gets exploited, like an open approval they had on an OpenSea or Blur contract, which has happened in the past. Being able to revoke that all in one place and then educating them with the Wallet Guard Academy, which is something I'd love to talk to you guys about, that's a win-win for the space as a whole. This makes it so it's not an echo chamber. This makes it so people have a resource of, hey, I'm onboarding somebody, get Wallet Guard first. That's going to point you in the right direction, give you the right link to grab MetaMask or to grab Phantom or whatever your wallet of choice is.
So if you're on an actual legitimate website, legitimate project, will it give you like a green check or something to say like you're good, you're
Yes,
safe to go? So
exactly.
it's almost like when you go buy something. I'm gonna ease this, is bring it down as low as I can for people who are, because people in our community, a lot of them are in our community because they want ease of access, and they don't want to deal with wallets, and they want to just log in, buy something with fiat and all that stuff. So if say I'm buying something online, I know there's apps like Honey and all these other apps that come up, they'll pop up before you check out. Is that something similar to what you guys are doing here, where it'll pop up in the, like on a little tab on the side there and tell you about the website prior to connecting your wallet? Or is it something completely different than that? Like, or is it like a check mark that pops up on the screen in the browser? How does it work? Like,
yeah, I'd love to show you a live example.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, yeah, you can actually share screen at the bottom there. If you hit share screen, we'll bring you up.
Awesome.
Yeah, because I'm curious also to know about how long you guys been in business, and what like how you guys monetize. Like, this is a free product, right? Or there's no payment for it? So how exactly do you guys monetize so that?
Yeah,
I can pull your screen up whenever you're ready.
Can you guys? Yeah, it's up right now. Sorry, I was just loading up this screen here.
There you go.
Awesome. So yeah, that's a great question. So as of right now, everything is open source and free. So the browser extension, the Metamask Snap integration, our AI tool, the security dashboard, which you see here, the academy where we have a bunch of different resources, everything is free. And we're doing this in order to help onboard as many people as we can so that they're ready when it comes down to when they're managing their assets. Now, in the beginning of next year, we are launching a premium version of Wallet Guard in order to monetize what we're doing. And that's going to be great for anybody that's a heavy degen that wants unlimited access to simulations or link checking or a bunch of other premium features that we're going to be rolling out over the next few months. So there is plan to monetize, but we will always remain open source, and we will always remain a free product for the sake of onboarding.
I think that's probably good. It's like MetaMask, right? Like it's so popular because you can just so easily download it for free, get a wallet and start using it right away. And then, sorry, did you mention how long have you guys been around for? Like, how long did it take you to build something like this?
Yeah, we've been building this for a year and a half, and the actual extension came on the App Store, the Chrome Store, sorry, about June of last year. So we've scaled very quickly from just a link checking and phishing detection. Now we have this wide range of products and educational resources, and we've done it with only 5 people. Like, we're a team of 5 that works like a team of 9. And that's why I was talking about the team before. It really matters on who you align with, and if you're willing to really drop everything you're doing and focus on the product. So I'm super happy to be on this team and continue building this out, because we're not going anywhere. We're building in the bear. We're going to be here when the bull comes, no matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter. It's not about the monetary for us. It's about showing people what this technology can do and making sure that they keep their assets safe.
That's amazing, though. You're right. We all know that there will be a bull again, right? Right now, it's a little bit quiet, but we all saw last time, different times, 2017, 2020. You had, you go through a winter, and the next thing you know, people, you're just driving down the road. You're listening to the radio. The guy on the radio was talking about buying Bitcoin. Like, it just gets unbelievable. And a lot of people, they have no idea about anything that's happening in the space because they just show up just to make a buck right in that moment. And then, of course, a lot of them get burned in the end. But why don't you tell us a little bit about the Wallet Guard?
Yeah, for sure.
So the Academy.
Yeah, let's talk about the Academy real quick. I think that's a good place to start. So in the Wallet Guard Academy, we have a bunch of educational resources. This is all things that we've created from scratch in order to help users understand how to create their first wallets. What are those random NFTs and airdrops in your wallet? How do you prevent phishing attacks? What to do if you get drained? Like, there's literally a way to bookmark and get all this information all in one place, so you understand how things happen, how to perform your own security audits, what software to use. I mean, we really try to make it simple to actually do your own research, because we put all the resources out there. And you hear that all the time from influencers: do your own research, but they don't necessarily tell you how. So that's exactly why the Wallet Guard Academy exists. It's another free resource to be able to understand approvals, phishing attacks, airdrops, updating your wallet. We try to really make it simple.
Do you with, let's say, expanding metaverse, right? Gamification, like, just in your experience, obviously you must have seen a lot of scans personally. Like, is there any way to go back and get something once it's been scammed? There's no return, right? Like you mentioned, what do you do if your wallet gets drained? Like, what do you do? Like, I'm curious. Once it's drained, isn't it over?
So it 99.9% of the time it is over, because you are confirming an action on chain, and you really it's completely different from what we're used to in Web 2, where you could call up your credit card company and say, I didn't mean to do that, and they put the money right back in your account. The unfortunate thing is there is no phone number for Ethereum or Bitcoin or any of these services we're using, and you're kind of relying on yourself and also the resources around you. So a lot of times those resources, when you're asking, especially in a public forum, they're going to hit you in the DMs. They're going to try to scam you again, even though you just get scammed. These people do not care. That's why it's important to have the right connections when it comes to understanding what are the resources out there that actually work. What antivirus should I be using? What ad blocker makes the most sense? Because those results that you see on Google and Bing are always sponsored ads at the top, and you accidentally might click one and go to the wrong website, but even though it looks legit, it's not. These are all things that we shouldn't have to constantly be worried and thinking about. The point of the internet is to click on links, like I said before. So to have the right resources and to also say, hey, my wallet got drained, what are my options? We're breaking it down here. Like, first we have you understand, how did it happen? Did it happen out of the blue? Did you just perform a mint, a claim, or a swap? Were you told to give access to your device for remote support? We try to understand what happened, because people are really frantic when they get their wallet drained. And in order to have one place to say, okay, let me figure this out, you can approach the situation a lot better. And then you could go on performing a security audit, understanding revoking approvals and what exactly you did on chain, so that you can understand how to also create a new wallet, and the fact that your private key and seed phrase are two different things. Ways that you can report the incident. So for example, going to IC3 or chain abuse in order to file a report, which is one of the first resources we recommend when anyone gets their wallets drained, or potentially placing your assets on lock on centralized marketplaces like OpenSea, which we provide direct links to. And then we tell you what you can do moving forward. What did you learn from this experience, and what exactly your options are, and that nothing is 100% secure. At the end of the day, no matter what, nothing's 100%. So we really try to help you get to 100%, so you know what to do if something goes wrong, and you know how to prevent something going wrong in the first place.
So how do you stay ahead of these scammers? I mean, we know that there's unlimited scams that are going on. You mentioned they go in your DMs. There's links. People drop things in your wallet that you don't even know what they are. People click the wrong thing. They end up somewhere they shouldn't. How does Wallet Guard stay ahead? Are you guys scanning these places that people are reporting to? Like, how do you stay ahead of everybody?
Yeah, so Wallet Guard is not a whitelist, blacklist. We actually built a machine learning model from scratch that's able to detect scans the second that they're spun up. So when a Twitter page gets compromised, or a Discord channel starts sending out links in the middle of the night when no one's paying attention, Wallet Guard's going to notify our users that, hey, this is something you don't want to interact with. And the reason we're able to do that is because of this machine learning model that looks at multiple heuristics. So some of the heuristics include public whois data. For example, when was the domain registered, or when was the DNS changed or updated? We also look at, for example, fuzzy logic on the domain. Is it attempting to mimic or sound like or look like it's the text is an actual real project when it isn't? We also look at different JavaScript and other code within the website in order to confirm and see, hey, is this tied to a wallet drainer? For example, there's many popular wallet drainers out there like Pink Drainer, which I'm sure many of you guys have heard of. So being able to detect those scams without having us manually doing anything, because we built this engine, and we continue adding on to it, of course, because scammers are always one step ahead, right? Like, they do something, we have to keep up with it. So we're always keeping up with it. We are hungry for the space. This is all we do. We live, we eat, we sleep, we breathe Wallet Guard. And this is what we're going to keep on doing. We're constantly expanding. And to be able to have something that actually works, that we've, like I said before, saved over $40 million in assets for our users so far, it's just amazing, to have a product that's actually working.
You mentioned it'll work in Discord and stuff like that as well, or is it just
No. So when a scam link gets posted in Discord, sometimes people click on it, right?
Yeah. Oh, and then it'll pop up the window, and
So
then
if you
in
have
your window.
Wallet Guard installed, it's going to let you know right off the bat, hey, this is something that just got spun up, or this is a wallet drainer. Or if you try to mint or do whatever transaction, the simulation will tell you, hey, this is not a free mint. This is something that you're sending out your assets. So it's not, we're trying to be agnostic and to the point of it doesn't matter what wallet it is, doesn't matter what blockchain it is, doesn't matter what app you clicked the link from. It's on the layer between right before it hands it off to your wallet.
Yeah. We got a message, question from Richard. He wants to know, what is the rate of false alarms with Wallet Guard?
Yeah, so our false positive rate is insanely low. Like we are able to, we're detecting 99% of the time that it is actually not legit when it's actually not legit. So that's another thing we pride ourselves on, is being able to have this machine learning model understand the difference between something that might be a legit project and doesn't have any risks associated with it, even though it's something that was recently created. So being able to do that helps us not get in the way of your degenning. It's annoying as hell when you're trying to do something and multiple things are popping up in your face. So that's what we try to not do. We're not going to like pop up all the time and get in your way. We're just going to notify you, hey, this is something you might not want to do, when it is actually something you might not want to do.
Has anyone, just speaking of like any potential false alarms, has anybody ever blamed you guys, let's say, for a false sense of security that then eventually led to an issue? Like, have you had any kind of, I guess like legal regulatory issues because of this?
So
like,
yeah,
are you guys like, does somebody oversee you guys to make sure that your product is actually effective?
Yeah, 100%. So when it comes down to like metrics, we're always making sure that, our users are actually, we're actually detecting threats for the user. And it's also a matter of understanding what you're doing, right? So the Wallet Guard browser extension is not going to protect your mobile MetaMask wallet. So there's always a way to understand what did the user do, and is it directly tied to anything that we're doing? So the point of that is that we have a zero liability when it comes to your assets, considering we're not a wallet. We're not telling you to connect to us. We're not telling you to sign anything. We're actually a Web2 security layer before it touches your Web3. So on that point, we also have a very extensive privacy policy in terms of service that we spent a lot of time on putting together with the right companies to make sure it is rock solid when it comes to protecting your information and showing you that we are never going to data mine the user, that we are not selling any data because we're not holding any data. There is a 2-week retention policy on any IP addresses in order to prevent against DDoS attacks, to keep our services online, because we have mitigated DDoS attacks in the past. We are a threat for scammers, and we are constantly being attacked by them. So we're able to battle that by having these protocols in place. But at the same time, we do try to be as transparent as possible, which is why our code on GitHub for the Snap and for the browser extension show to everybody on the table what exactly we're doing in the background when you install us as an extension.
Is there ever like a game of almost cat and mouse with the scammers where they can read your code and like almost try to trick Wallet Guard? Like, do you make changes and updates? Have you had issues where somebody has tried to almost trick your code so that it gives the person the wrong, false sense of security, and then you have to make updates? I'm just curious to know how often that happens. Is it something that doesn't typically happen?
Yeah, it's actually happened in the past where they've been able to find a workaround in order to like detect that Wallet Guard is there and then show a fake screen with a fake in-browser pop-up that Wallet Guard has verified it, even though it looks completely terrible, and like anybody with like 2 eyes could be like, okay, this is not legit. Like, obviously this isn't Wallet Guard. But yeah, they always try to do it, and we're always staying on top of it. As soon as something is discovered, we allow our users to actually send a notification directly in simulations that something is wrong, or that put a thumbs down if, for example, we're false flagging something, which again is a very rare occasion. So all the tools are there for us to detect it as soon as something new rises, and we're on top of it. We actually have a schedule here where there's not a minute of the day where someone is not awake doing something. So yeah, we're constantly monitoring, constantly looking, and we're staying on top of any of these new threats because they're always trying to get ahead.
Yeah, you guys live and breathe this. I'm just in your conversations, do you believe that, mass adoption is something that everyone talks about? We're thinking that, we know the world is on a crash course to Web3. We know the future is going to be filled with, a different internet, right? Where everything's going to be owned. When do you what's your plans for scaling? Like, is this something that's is there ever an issue with scaling? Is this going to be like if a million people come in right away and download it, is there a problem? And when do you think that would happen? Like, we always ask companies about when you think the mass adoption is going to happen. What's your opinion on it? Since you're just from a little bit of a different, the space is huge, but you guys are more of the true Web3 versus what we typically cover. What do you think?
Yeah, so we're happy that mass adoption didn't happen in seconds. It wouldn't have been practical for us or given us time to build out these security layers and to build out the infrastructure in order to scale properly. There were times when we first came out where the first few months we only had 100 users or a couple of hundred users. We've scaled to over 30,000 users at this point just on the browser extension. There's separate user sets for the dashboard and the Snap, which actually puts our user count way higher than 30,000. So being able to basically grow with the product over time and also learn internally, especially when we have situations like DDoS attacks, how to mitigate them and keep our services online. So like I said, it's a good thing that mass adoption doesn't occur very quickly. It lets us build out these interfaces and to also scale it properly as these users get onboarded.
So let's see some examples here. I know you got it pulled up here. Let's see how it works.
Yeah. So I'm just going to show you guys like a regular transaction on OpenSea real quick and all the metrics that you get whenever you're doing this transaction. So I'm just going to connect my MetaMask. This is actually our signature UI, which before it handing off a signature to whatever your wallet of choice is, will tell you that the website you're on is actually what it claims to be. As you can see here, it's verified by Wallet Guard. And it'll break down the signature in plain English before handing it off, especially if it's malformed or it's unreadable by whatever your wallet is. So let's go ahead and continue. Let's sign into OpenSea and let's try to buy this NFT. So before MetaMask opens or whatever your wallet is, Ledger, Trezor, whatever you're using, Wallet Guard will open up and it's going to give you a bunch of different metrics. So the first thing we're letting you know is the chain that you're using. Currently, for transaction simulations, we support Ethereum, Polygon, Arbitrum, and we just added Optimism support just this week. And we are constantly rolling out more EVMs over the next few months so that we can have true interoperability no matter what chain you're on. So again, here's the website, making sure that it's actually verified and that you are on OpenSea. The contract information with a direct link to Etherscan in order to double check it for yourself. The gas fee, which is usually the only piece of information you would see in your wallet of choice. Exactly what you are sending, which is a specific amount of Ethereum. Exactly what you are receiving, which is a specific NFT that has a specific floor price on OpenSea. So we're pulling metrics from about 6 to 7 different sources and showing the user, hey, this is exactly what's happening inside of this transaction.
So question, we have an NFT project, they're called Starboys. So we made them, we sold out, but coincidentally, right away, people started making copies of it. So like when we look at the link, we're Starboys 1, and then there was up to 6. So if somebody would this be able to pick it up if they pick, let's say, a copy of our project? Would this know and let them know?
Well, it would definitely for example, if there's if Starboys is on our list, right, for being a real project, for example, and then there's a fake Starboys website, it's going to let them know, yo, this isn't really Starboys, don't continue, right? Because It's not the real Starboys. Just like this, we could potentially go to the wrong OpenSea and it'll let us know it's not really OpenSea. But when it comes down to comparing two contracts, there is a lot of data that we're starting to integrate when being pulled from Alchemy as well as Chainalysis, so that it actually looks at the contract and the wallet that you might be dealing with, even if it's not an NFT purchase like we're doing here, and kind of break it down and say, hey, this has been involved in something malicious, or hey, the total volume on this collection is 0 ETH. Are you sure you're buying the right thing? Because obviously I hope that your collection has more than 0 ETH in transactions.
It does, yeah.
Right. So being able to pull that is obviously super important. And that's some of the metrics we're going to be pulling in. The other thing is that we don't want to show the user too much information, because then it's pointless, right? We want to make it user friendly. We want it so that our friends that we onboard can look at this screen and say, okay, this is telling me straight up what's happening. There's no extra fluff or information. But this is where it gets super interesting, guys. So we actually built a AI model on top of ChatGPT with 4 custom plugins. And our AI model is called Chat Web3. So inside of each transaction simulation, signature, or whatever you're doing inside of your wallet, there's going to be a tab for Ask Chat Web3. And when you click on this tab, you could talk to the transaction and it will look at on-chain data and spit it back to you in plain English. So let's go ahead and ask it to explain the transaction. Now it's going to look at all the on-chain information. It might actually, I'm on a VPN, so it might not.
Might take a little bit of time, I guess. Oh,
Did we lose him?
yeah, I guess with the VPN. Oh, there he
there he
is.
is.
He's back. He's back. We lost you for a second there.
Hey, can you see me?
Yeah, we can see you.
Okay, cool. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I was just turning the VPN off because I've been on that network the whole day, and I've done like 10 different meetings and shown this off a million times. So
Okay.
Yeah. So let's go to Ask Chat Web3. Let's ask it to explain the transaction. It might still think I'm on my VPN, which it probably does. Well, that's great. Well, I'll show it to you live here. Actually just posted a recent example.
Yeah, that's why everybody watching in the chat, make sure you guys give Michael a follow, give Wallet Guard a follow on Twitter. We should we'll put the links in the description below just in the future if anybody needs to find it.
Yeah.
So here's an example. So this is a wallet drainer that Wallet Guard picked up, and in case the user has more, metrics that they want to identify, they go ahead and click on the Ask Chat Web3 tab, ask it to explain the transaction, and it tells them in plain English what it is. And then they could even ask more context, like explain it like I'm 5 years old, and it'll break it down using that on-chain data like you're 5 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, this is amazing. I mean, like this is exactly what we need to see, I think, for the space to move forward. It's projects like this that will help bring, like, everyone, they hear about crypto, they hear about NFTs, they say scam. A lot of the average Joe, as I like to say, just says scam right away. But like projects like this is a way to bring security legitimacy to the space and help make it transparent for everybody to actually feel safe going forward, instead of, because you could still get scammed. It's not bulletproof, but it gives you another layer of security and confidence, and maybe it's going to pick something up to prevent something bad from happening to your wallet.
Exactly. If we're able to show the user, hey, this is exactly what's going to happen, they're going to have a little more understanding, and then they're also going to be able to talk to it and learn about the transaction that they're doing right now. I think that's really the greatest part about it is being able to talk to an AI model and understand what's happening as you're doing it.
Yeah.
So we have another project that we cover that's built on Flow. Is that a chain that you guys are looking at working with eventually?
Yeah, so we're looking at adopting, like I said, pretty much all EVM support, just trying to get as agnostic as we can, because we also have our B2B APIs, and our B2B APIs, what they do is they allow different dApps and wallet as a service providers to integrate a security layer, just like we did with MetaMask, directly into their wallet. So I'm going to show you real quick an example of that with MetaMask. As you can see, we do a lot of security content. We do a lot of security tips, making sure that you understand that, something might have just gotten exploited, like the recent Stars Arena exploit. Giving all that information super important. And we've actually managed to surpass 40,000 followers organically by just giving out the security information. Just give me 1 second. Let me find it here.
While you pull that up, I'm just going to share a thought with everyone here, because a lot of our viewers and a lot of the people that watch our channel, they like McFarlane Toys, they like McFarlane Digital, where you can get licensed IP, Batman, Batmobile, where the whole structure and plan of McFarlane Digital is to build something that they offer the product, but then you take that to random dApps, like you said, right, and import them in to maybe play a game, maybe see it in some kind of space. This is why something like that would be so important, because you probably have to, at that point, link your wallet in order to import it into wherever you got to do. It's just a thought I had.
Right. And you want to make sure you're interfacing with the right thing. And that's why we're adding even a dApp store inside of Wallet Guard, so users can have direct links to popular exchanges, projects, marketplaces. So when you do onboard someone brand new that doesn't know that OpenSea is not OpenSea.com, it's OpenSea.io, where to go, right? So that they're not going to get scammed in 2 seconds of getting their assets on chain. I mean, it's the worst phone call to get. So here's a quick example of the Metamask Snap in action. So this is separate from the browser extension. So you can actually enable Wallet Guard as a snap inside of your MetaMask. So this is a website that's claiming to be a free mint. And you go to connect your MetaMask. And inside of MetaMask, there is now a Wallet Guard tab. And when you click on that Wallet Guard tab, you can see that this is clearly not a free mint. This is a wallet drainer. You are sending all of your Ethereum out of your wallet. It is a recently created domain, and it gives a full breakdown on exactly what's happening in MetaMask directly before you confirm it.
Wow. This is
going back to, I guess, when you spoke about Rob asked about the Starboys project. Is that, I guess that might be a way you guys can monetize down the line, is to have projects kind of confirm that they're legitimate by, like, almost like Twitter has verification or had the paid verification now, something like that, where they can pay into you guys to make sure that it's legitimate, rather than I mean, you guys would recognize if it was a wallet drainer if they were trying to fake the system anyway, but to give people more peace of mind, maybe that's another integration. I don't know. I'm sure you guys are thinking of it though.
Yeah, so we have a brand verification model, which we're going to be slowly rolling out again over the next few months, and that's going to do exactly that, where we that can help confirm a project is legit, make sure that the project understands that we're kind of like, it's a collaboration, right? Like, we want to make sure to bring wallet safety to communities that are real communities. A lot of these communities, unfortunately, they aren't vetted properly, and they end up scamming people, and like, that's the last thing that we want to support. So if we're able to take a look and say, okay, this community is advocating for end user security, they're mentioning Wallet Guard as people enter their Discord, or they have a link to grab Wallet Guard on their website, or they do wallet safety sessions with Wallet Guard on Twitter Spaces or Discord community. That's endless utility to all of the members of that community, and we're not charging a single cent for it. Like,
yeah, if it becomes the standard, that's what we want here, right? We want everybody to kind of be like, okay, this one's got the Wallet Guard stamp on it. It's like Twitter, you kind of feel more comfortable chatting with an organization that even before Elon took over, that had that blue check mark, because you knew they were legitimate. Like, it's something just to legitimize the project, and I think once you have that legitimacy, then you start to get that comfort level from the end user, rather than now where everyone's kind of trying to figure it out on their own. Exactly.
And we would rather provide them the resource than have them figure it out and never come back to the space again. Here's a little picture with Brian Armstrong and Ohm, one of the co-founders, standing right next to him. And this is us at the at the initiative Stand with Crypto at Washington, D.C. a couple of weeks ago.
Very
incredible. Cool. Big shout out to Living Aloha. He says, mahalo for the stream, amazing product. So thank you so much for the donation there.
Thank you.
Guys, I mean, I think, Mike, you've really made us think about, we got to up our security game. All right. We're walking around with our pants down right now. We got to find a way to get smarten up, make sure we protect ourselves. Free product. That's what makes it the best. You can link it to your MetaMask and just give yourselves a layer of security. Joe, I mean, Michael, before we're almost at 45 minutes here. Before we close out, is there anything else that you want to share with us?
Let me just grab the screen back here. Whoa.
We can see ourselves. We're in the Matrix. We're in the Matrix. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's still it's mind blowing though, like, because we just learned about this like a couple days ago from Richard. Shout out to him in the chat. It's something that I feel like now everybody needs this. So something we'll advocate for sure on the channel, and hopefully learn a little bit more here. But no, appreciate you coming on and sharing some of your time with us. I know that yesterday didn't work out, but I think anybody who watches this video, I mean, we titled the video, "Can you handle holding your own keys?" Because everyone in our space, they want their own keys, but I don't think they understand the risks that do come with that. So by having this education before that even happens in our space, I think is really cool. And I mean, if they can practice on Starboys with Wallet Guard activated, I think that's a great way to get it going and get accustomed. And then maybe some of these licensed IPs that once they do go interoperable and stay in people's wallets, they'll already be ready for it because they've already tested the product, right?
Yeah, 100%. And I want to drop some alpha before we end this session. So we're doing a initiative to help people get onboarded into crypto without spending a single dollar. And the way that we're doing that is we're releasing a new onboarding flow that helps people basically mint their first NFT for free. We pay the gas. Wallet Guard will pay the gas for the NFT and also guide them through the process of minting it, learning about the transaction as they're doing it. and then also seeing their security health in the dashboard, and then understanding all the tools from the academy so that they can help learn about the space. And I think that that's a really great way to onboard, because we're also going to be doing it with blue chip projects. One of the first projects that we're doing, I can't drop the name yet, but he is one of the most known meme creators in the space. And his meme has been around for over 14 years. It's somebody that's very famous. And it's going to be an awesome drop. And that's just the first drop that we're doing. Everyone's going to be able to mint it for free for absolutely no cost. And again, it's just to bring awareness, get a free NFT, and also learn how to protect your crypto.
Well, we got to participate in that. And again, shout out also to Richard, who...
Oh, did he disappear on YouTube?
Oh.
There you are. You're back.
There you are. So, Joe, we should send him off the proper superstar way, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
Fantastic job. Really good standing O.
Thank you. Thank you.
Standing O for that. Thanks for educating us on this, guys. Make sure you have to, before you head out, make sure you go. You got to follow Wallet Guard. Go download it as well. Also follow MichaelK.eth on X. And
let us know who's the meme master that he's talking about. Let us know in the comments. We want to hear what you think.
Yeah,
we're gonna break the internet with this drop, guys. Like it's gonna be mind blowing. And just FYI, there are a lot of fake MichaelK.eth accounts. Make sure you're following the right one. My username is MichaelK.DCL, and I do have the verified Wallet Guard badge as well as a verified Twitter badge on the profile. It'll be clear that that's the right one that you're looking at. And yeah, make sure to also follow Wallet Guard. I want to thank you guys really for giving me the stage here today and talking about something that a lot of people just don't end up talking about, because this is so important, like how to be able to like make this easy for people to understand. And I give you guys that big shout out for having me on, and really appreciate your time. I appreciate your time, guys.
No, thank you so much for coming. And we'll put the link in our description below after the video's up, so that if someone does watch this video in the future, they can always go to the description and find the official link to your Twitter, and they can follow it appropriately. So guys, most importantly though, before you go, if you haven't already, don't forget, become a superstar, smash the subscribe button, join the superstar fam, hit the bell notification button to get every single video every single day. You don't know what we're gonna hit you with. We hit you today with an amazing security video. We don't know what we're gonna hit you with tomorrow. Make sure you hit the bell. Also to our VIPs, thank you guys all so much for your support. $2.99 a month. I can start with your name, ask for spreadsheets, giveaways, you name it. Thank you guys all. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Let's go.